Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Curtice, and let's call the brawl between number 4, lightweight Alioramus, and number 5, Shaochilong. Both opted for the Roman-style coliseum. Neither of them seemed to want to have some kind of ambush or predatory strategy other than straight-up fight. Alioramus looking very powerful. Being a tyrannosaurid, it has massive legs, big tail, nice full set of teeth. Its claws aren't all that spectacular as one would expect. Contrast that with Shaochilong. It's got that slightly lighter build than a tyrannosaurid, but still good solid build. Looks like it's got a good blend of power, speed. Its hand claws look very wicked. And its mouth, slightly different than that of the tyrannosaurids, because its teeth are more designed to rip flesh. Tyrannosaurus is designed to rip blood. Tyrannosaurid teeth, designed to crush bone. Carcharodontosaurid teeth, designed to slice flesh. Let's see who wins. And they're off. The bleeding of the hadrosaur indicates it's time to fight. Both of them begin approaching somewhat cautiously, sizing each other up. I thought that we would have had a much different approach to the beginning. They begin to approach one another, slowly circling. Snap here, snap there. Each of them seems to be feeling the other fighter out. Very interesting approach. Finally, Tyrannosaurids, Alioramus commits to a bite. Goes right in. Carcharodontosaurid, Shaochilong, decides to return in kind, and they grab the side of each other's necks. I haven't seen this before. Each of them just trying to end the fight quickly now with a submission type hold. Here's where we see the advantages of both teeth. The Carcharodontosaurid snips cleanly, taking a huge chunk out of Alioramus' neck. But Alioramus, with that bone-crushing power, went all the way through, crushing and removes part of the breathing mechanisms of Shaochilong's neck. Shaochilong begins to suffocate. He is in a really bad place. Alioramus kicks that Tyrannosaurid kick with its vaunted toe claws. Alioramus punctures a hole in the abdomen of Shaochilong. What looked like maybe Shaochilong had a chance early on has become quite the one-sided affair. Shaochilong is beginning to bleed heavily. He's gasping for air. Alioramus continues to kick, using his meat hook hand claws as holding Shaochilong while he repeatedly bites it. Shaochilong bleeds out. Shaochilong mercifully finds death. And Alioramus advances to the next round of the 2021 lightweight tournament of the Chompionships.
Hi, and welcome to the 2021 True Light Championships. We're here to talk about the lightweight matchups. And today we had a fantastic Donnybrook with number 4 seed Alioramus taking on number 5 seed Shaochilong. These two competitors were evenly matched. Both were within 100 pounds of one another. They are both the same length. They come from Mongolia, from the Cretaceous. Amazing matchup on paper. One, however, the Alioramus was a tyrannosaurid. The Shaochilong was a carcharodontosaurid. In the battle, we saw the two of them rush at one another, and after a few quick feints, they locked jaws onto necks, and we saw that carcharodontosaurus flesh snipping power, but we also saw the Alioramus tyrannosaurid bite bone crushing power. And as we know, Alioramus wins in he was damaged, but he did pull off the victory. So I want to get your take and thoughts on what you thought about what we saw there.
Well, I always love this. Lightweight divisions are kind of near and dear to my heart because I've spent my whole life as a lightweight. And it's kind of fun to sit there and look at a few of these dinosaurs that don't quite have the kind of public appeal that we usually associate with some of the bigger animals. I love how evenly matched they are. And I think the similar sizes, similar geographic background, so much is so evenly matched on these animals that we got a chance to really see the different approaches in terms of just weaponry. Who's got the massive bite force, who's got the ability to really tear into and really shred some flesh. And that's really where it became interesting for me, is just seeing the different approaches and how each one will go up against the other one.
And as we saw last year, nothing seems to be able to stop the Tyrannosaurid bite power. And we saw it again in the lightweights. The Tyrannosaurid just had more bone crushing power rolling in. The Alioramus lost a large portion of its neck skin, but its neck was so heavily muscled, it didn't hit anything vital. And correspondingly, when the neck was crunched into by the tyrannosaurid, bones were broken, cervical ribs were shattered, windpipes were destroyed, and that was game, set, and match.
Yeah, bones and organ damage. Like, how are you going to go against that? You know, I mean, like, nothing against the carcharodontosaurids, but to quote the greatest fighter I've ever witnessed in all time, "'Tis but a flesh wound."
The other thing I thought was interesting on this fight, come to think of it, about different weaponry, is how we got to see Alioramus use its two-fingered meat hooks to try to draw in and manipulate slightly the Shaochilong. So I think that we always wonder, what are they using with these hands? But it looks like maybe they were using to just steer and get better bite angles on its opponents. You've had the pleasure of working with a lot of tyrannosaurid arms. Anything you want to add to the arms?
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember that tyrannosaur arms are short in comparison to the rest of the animal. Every single set of tyrannosaur arms I've worked on, specifically some displetosaur arms and one really nice set of T-Rex arms. And then I've seen little bits and pieces of other North American tyrannosaurs over the years. Just because they're comparatively small on the animal doesn't mean they're small overall. It's just small compared to that body. There's huge musculature. That deltopectoral crest, I mean, I know it's a dinosaur. Dinosaurs have big deltopectoral crests, but all that massive musculature that comes across the front of the animal that way, there's some real power in those. Like, T-Rex could still curl more than me, but my arms are longer. And that's the thing to remember, is they're still very powerful, and those claws are still really impressive. I don't know exactly what they used them for, but they used them for something.
And that's a great point. When you talk about the strength of the T-Rex arms or the Tyrannosaurid arms, and those claws are still claws. They're still a good 2 inches long, 1.5 inches long. Those are, and they're sharp. So if you get jabbed with powerful arms, and all you need is to steer a little when you've got that killer head to take a bite and get something vital. So, and the other thing that we saw that the Tyrannosaurs are famous for is the kicking power. Just the toe, claw, and leg. And you've touched more Tyrannosaur legs than most pokes on the planet. Talk to us about the strength and power there that you've seen.
Well, I mean, again, there's just so much massive architecture there between the Tyrannosaur legs and the hips. There's a lot of meat on those. I think most people actually, when they reconstruct the Tyrannosaurs, or any dinosaur really, but especially the Tyrannosaurs, when they draw them, they never make that big meaty tail go on there. There's that huge muscle, the caudofemoralis, that supports the tail down about half the length, and it inserts on that femur, about halfway up the femur. And it's big. There's a lot of power there. There's these nice deep sockets in the hips, and there's so much to it. We also see some evidence of tyrannosaurs fighting with one another. Everybody likes to argue about these. It's not uncommon to find holes in other tyrannosaurs that don't exactly correspond to a bite wound, because we only see like one single puncture somewhere. And usually with bite wounds, if you've ever worked with alligators and crocodiles, you see bite wounds go in the shape of a mouth. But when you get a single puncture, a lot of folks are starting to argue that this isn't a bite when tyrannosaurs are fighting with each other. It's a kick.
Ooh. Ho, ho, ho.
And so I mean, like, it's still kind of circumstantial, but I think there's some pretty good evidence that tyrannosaurs did exactly this, that they kicked, and those claws are devastating.
I just happen to have a Tyrannosaurus Rex toe claw right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
you got to remember, that's the bony core. There's a whole lot of keratin coming out on that.
I saw a paper not too long ago that said upwards of 40% longer on hand claws. The paper didn't look at toe claws, but figure even 20% longer and sharp. Oh my goodness, fingernails are sharp.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much. Great insights on the skeleton, on the musculoskeleton of our contestants. But Alioramus takes the day, lives to fight to go to the next round. So thank you. We'll see you soon, I'm sure. And everybody have a great day. Thank you kindly.
Thanks a lot.
Adios.